Hey folks, Carolyn here to tell you a bit about the new Atari 2600 Plus, a pretty faithful recreation of the first massively successful home video game console. Let's start with its appearance. Though it's only about 80% as large as the original Atari VCS, the 2600 Plus captures the iconic look of the classic hardware wonderfully. If you're old enough to have memories of the 2600 from its heyday, seeing one of these in your entertainment center may trigger flashbacks to time spent sitting on the floor playing Space Invaders in 1981. And really, it's that distinctive appearance, as well as the console's clicky switches, that make the 2600 Plus such an appealing prospect for retro fans. There are already plenty of official Atari emulation devices out there, like the line of Atari flashback consoles. But much like vinyl collectors enjoy the experience of putting a record on the turntable, retro sickos like me love the tactile experience of putting a cartridge into the slot and flicking the power switch before gaming with an original single-button Atari joystick. The 2600 Plus recaptures all of this impeccably, while also having HDMI output so you can actually play it on your fancy schmancy modern-day TV instead of a bulky 1979 Zenith. And yes, that's right, this thing plays actual Atari cartridges, rather than coming preloaded with a bunch of games like those flashback consoles or devices like the NES and Sega Genesis Minis. So it's aimed pretty squarely at those who already have a collection of 2600 games, or who may be interested in building one. It does come with a 10 games in one cartridge that includes classics like Adventure, Combat, Missile Command, and Yar's Revenge, which is great for giving you something to play right out of the box. But let's be real, you probably won't get the most out of this machine without spending some money on eBay. As an added bonus, the 2600 Plus also plays cartridges for the Atari 7800, which came out in 1986, though that console has a much smaller library than the 2600. There's also an important caveat. Despite having an actual cartridge slot, the 2600 Plus uses software emulation rather than replicating actual 2600 or 7800 hardware. As a result, there are a few games that won't work on the device. The impressive Pitfall 2 Lost Caverns, for instance, is sadly not compatible. However, if you can accept this, the Atari 2600 Plus is a pretty great, authentic way to revisit this often overlooked era of gaming history. You only get one joystick in the box, but Atari is currently selling extras separately. You'll probably want two, since so many Atari games are at their best when played with a friend. Atari is also selling paddle controllers, which come with their own compilation cartridge featuring Breakout, Night Driver, Canyon Bomber, and Video Olympics. Take my advice, get yourself a 2600 Plus, 2 sets of paddle controllers, and a copy of Warlords, and you have yourself a 4-player party machine. If you want a 2600 Plus, you can get them directly from the Atari website or from other online retailers for about $130. It would make quite the stocking stuffer for that retro gamer in your life.